Understanding the 4 major attachment styles. Welcome to today's video. We're going to dive into a fascinating and important topic, the 4 major attachment styles. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not yet familiar with this subject, don't worry. I'm going to walk you through everything step by step. Our attachment styles are essentially the ways in which we bond with others. You can also think of them as our emotional blueprint or love styles in relationships. They deeply influence how we relate to romantic partners, friends, family members, and even colleagues. In this video, we'll explore each of the 4 major attachment styles and how they can dramatically affect the longevity and health of your relationships. We'll also touch on compatibility and what you can do to better understand your own style or the attachment style of someone you care about. The origins of attachment theory. Attachment theory has been researched extensively for decades. It was first developed by John Bowlby and later expanded upon by Mary Ainsworth, both of whom laid the foundation for our modern understanding of human connection and emotional bonding. According to this theory, every person develops an attachment style during early childhood, typically between the ages of 0 and 2. These styles emerge through repeated interactions with primary caregivers, shaping our subconscious beliefs about love, trust, safety, and emotional intimacy. While these patterns often originate in childhood, the good news is that they're not set in stone. Due to the brain's neuroplasticity, our attachment styles can evolve over time through new relationships, therapy, and conscious self-work. 1. Secure attachment style. Let's begin with the healthiest and most stable style, the secure attachment style. People with a secure attachment style tend to grow up in environments where caregivers are emotionally available, consistent, and responsive. When a child expresses needs, feelings, or emotions, these caregivers approach the child with empathy and curiosity. They try to understand what the child is going through and help the child feel heard, validated, and supported. This consistent, nurturing response teaches children that their needs matter. It's safe to express emotions. They can rely on others. Their boundaries are respected. Statistically, secure attachment once accounted for about 50% of the population, but recent studies suggest this number is declining. Securely attached individuals tend to do very well in long-term relationships. They are comfortable with closeness, capable of healthy communication, and typically view relationships as a safe space for mutual support and growth. This attachment style leads to more functional and emotionally fulfilling relationships. 2. Anxious, preoccupied attachment style. Next, let's talk about the anxious or preoccupied attachment style. This style often develops in childhood environments where emotional support was inconsistent. Perhaps caregivers were loving, but also frequently absent due to work, stress, or other life circumstances. As a result, the child never quite knew what to expect. Would the parent be warm and available, or distant and unavailable? This emotional inconsistency creates a lack of object permanence. The child doesn't trust that someone who leaves will return. Over time, this leads to a deep fear of abandonment. As adults, anxiously attached individuals often crave closeness and reassurance, worry about being left or rejected, feel heightened anxiety in relationships, may misinterpret neutral behaviors as signs of rejection, engage in proximity-seeking behaviors like excessive texting or calling. These behaviors are not signs of weakness, but rather trauma responses formed in childhood. The person is reacting from a place of emotional fear and trying to protect themselves from the pain of disconnection. 3. Dismissive avoidant attachment style. On the opposite end of the spectrum is the dismissive avoidant attachment style. This style typically develops in homes where emotional neglect is common, but consistent. Unlike the unpredictability of the anxious style, this child learns early on that emotional needs simply won't be met, so they stop expressing them altogether. The child doesn't think, "My parents are unavailable," because children personalize everything. Instead, they internalize the message. Something must be wrong with me. As a result, they grow up believing emotional closeness is unsafe or unnecessary. Vulnerability equals weakness. They must be self-reliant at all costs. Parents of avoidantly attached individuals may have even shamed emotional expression, saying things like, "Don't cry," "Man up," or "Stop being dramatic." Over time, the child learns to suppress emotions and becomes emotionally distant to protect themselves. In adulthood, this can manifest as difficulty expressing feelings, a strong need for independence, emotional detachment in relationships, pushing people away when they get too close. Though they may desire connection, avoidantly attached individuals fear vulnerability because it once led to pain and rejection. 4. Fearful avoidant, disorganized, attachment style. Finally, there's the fearful avoidant or disorganized attachment style, which is often the most complex. This style typically emerges from trauma or environments where caregivers were a source of both comfort and fear, such as in cases of abuse, neglect, or highly unstable parenting. The child is caught in a painful paradox. The person I need to go to for safety is also the one who causes me harm. As a result, they grow up with a confusing internal message. I want love, but I don't feel safe with it. In adult relationships, this often leads to intense emotional highs and lows, difficulty trusting others, self-sabotage in relationships, a push-pull dynamic, seeking intimacy, then suddenly withdrawing. Fearful avoidant individuals may want closeness deeply, but also fear being hurt. They may struggle with emotional regulation and may carry unresolved trauma that makes stable relationships feel unfamiliar or unsafe. You are not broken. You are programmable. If you recognize yourself in one of the insecure attachment styles, please know you are not broken and you are not doomed. Attachment styles are learned, not fixed, and that means they can be relearned. Through self-awareness, therapy, inner work, and healthy relationships, you can begin to shift your attachment style over time. Because of the brain's neuroplasticity, change is not only possible, it's scientifically supported. Next steps: understanding and healing. Now that we've covered all 4 major attachment styles, secure, anxious, dismissive avoidant, and fearful avoidant, I encourage you to reflect on where you see yourself. You may also want to observe the attachment patterns of people close to you. Understanding your own style and the styles of those you love can transform your relationships and help you build deeper, healthier connections. In future videos, we'll dive into practical tools to help you heal and move toward a more secure attachment style. Let me know in the comments, which style do you most relate to, and what would you like to learn more about?